I get it. This whole time, I've been trying to figure out why it seemed like AMINO and Shu were very distant, even though, like, there was obviously chemistry there. You know what I mean? There was obviously chemistry there. Kisara eats memories, and that's so fucked up that she's trying to replace AMINO, knowing that Shu loved her, and he was doing this to protect her, right? Like, he doesn't give a fuck, like, what memories he loses as long as he fulfills his goal. But there is a caveat to that, right? There's a big issue that there's gonna be a point where you've given up all of your memories and you're not gonna remember why you were doing this in the first place. That is crazy, because even at the end of the episode, Kisara felt like she had to apologize to AMINO, and they showed us all the memories. They showed us every memory that they had together and why that dress that she was wearing at the park was so important. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of that shit came to light today, and honestly, I was surprised. It made this shit deeper than what it was. Oh, bro, and not to mention, another reason that it's deeper than what it was is we saw that his sister, Kana, was killed by that spear. The same spear that we saw at the end of the episode that was inside that facility, that was housing the cores that make the energy for them to live off of, because as y'all know, the Organite is what powers everything else, right? Like, a lot of the other places don't run on old school electricity like the old town does where Shu lives. But for some reason, that spear was at that facility, which could mean that Kana's not dead and that she is being used as an experiment to power shit, which would be very, 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 very fucked up for Shu's part, because it makes me wonder the way that she disappeared like a demon, right? When we saw it in Shu's memory at the beginning of the episode. So does this mean that Shu's a demon? Like, all signs point towards that, but there's more to it than that. Or hear me out. Maybe she was a demon possession, right? She was being possessed. That could very much be the case as well. Because listening to Miles, right? Miles took care of Shu when he was a kid, right? Tetsuya, the guy, I think he's like a detective, was asking Miles questions and, like, you know, just inquiring about Shu, which had me curious because everybody else sees Shu as a problem, but not those two. They realize that the city relies on Shu to handle all their problems at a cheap price, which is how they keep things running. So we learned that when Shu brought her there, when Shu brought Kisara, they fought everyone, right? They fought everyone. They labeled them what did he say? A triple S class demon or some shit? Double S, double A, whatever it was. It was one of the three. I'm having a hard time remembering what that was right now. It got to the point where Shu and Kisara just won, and they had no choice but to make them a demon hunting corporation or demon hunting business, right? I know I'm like going on and on and on and on and on, but like, yo, a lot of this shit is insane because it makes you realize like just how deep this shit gets with Shu. I want to jump back to Shu and Kisara, with Kisara eating his memories in order to gain power. So Shu's whole ordeal is to get more information on his people. Like, what happened? What really happened? Nobody told him anything. Even Akino, who is Ayano's mama and is fine as hell, bro. I'm taking them both down. You feel me? Same time. But anyway, even Akino doesn't tell him anything, or like maybe she doesn't know. But with how important of a figure she is so far in the anime, like how big of a person she is, there's no way that she doesn't know. Shu's whole thing is to get information, and in order to get that, he uses the power of Kisara. The issue is, in order for Kisara to get power, she needs to eat memories. And that's what we noticed. That like every time he always has something written on his hand, like what he's supposed to do. So we noticed that in the last few episodes, whenever they had to do something, that he always had like a note on his hand to remind him of what he needs to do. So with that being said, just how much of his memory has she eaten? And what time frames? It's crazy that the more important the memory, the more powerful Kisara becomes, because you realize that a lot of his memories with AMINO were eaten. And we saw that. Like, if you stayed to the end credits, right? Like the after credits, you saw that shit, which makes that like super duper interesting. Because say they have to face somebody that's so powerful that they may not have a chance, but you have to make Kisara super duper strong. And what if in order to do that, you have to have her eat the sole reason why you started doing this in the first place? It's crazy to think about, you know what I mean? It makes you wonder, like, how far is Shu willing to go to risk it all? Is it gonna cost him his life? Is it gonna cost him his mission, right? His sole purpose? Just where are you willing to go in order to make this shit happen? And to all of you who called this shit boring last week, are we not watching the same thing? We must not be watching the same thing, because this anime so far, every episode has piled on questions. It's piled on information after information after information, question after question after question. Like, they'll answer a few just to give you 30 more. Do you guys not like that? I have so many questions, man, because a lot of that shit don't make sense. This anime has a lot to offer, and I don't understand what you guys aren't seeing. So maybe I'm the blind one. You know what I mean? But anyways, let me know what you thought about this episode. Let me know what you thought, because everything is starting to line up with us learning more and more and more and more about Shu, right? The more we learn about him, the more he forgets about himself. That shit's kind of cool. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. I'm working on trying to get more videos out. I got a lot I'm doing, bro. I'm recording a lot, and it's hard to edit all of it at once, but I'm gonna try to keep my promise and continue to give you guys daily content. I want this to be my day-to-day, so the bigger we get, the more we can, you feel me? And with that being said, it's your boy, xDomoSenpaix, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.